What's going on, guys? Welcome to April's episode of Plus Club, the show where we play the games offered to us on PlayStation Plus throughout the month, and then at the end of the month we talk about them. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
I'm Chris.
And this month we played Trackmania Turbo and Mad Max, but we're moving into a new month, so next month we will be playing Rayman Legends and Beyond Two Souls. Make sure to play those. Come back at the end of the month for Plus Club then, and we'll talk about them then. Also, our game of the month until tomorrow is Persona 5, so play it until tomorrow. Spend 8 hours in the tutorial. Try and get out of it by then. You're never going to do it. And come back and talk to us about it, and we'll talk to you about it. Chris, what do you think about the games for next month?
I am excited to play Rayman. I remember playing that when it came out for, the Sega way back in the day?
Oh, the original Rayman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever play any of the newer Rayman? Like Legends, and there's another one, I think.
Mm-mm.
They're pretty cool. I like them.
Haven't played them either.
They're Ubisoft. They're platformers, but they're like really like new looking and really like they did pretty well. I think they only came out on like Wii and Wii U though for a while there. So and PC. So I played it on Wii. I think it was something weird. I don't remember where the fuck I played it. It wasn't one of these modern consoles. What do you think about Beyond Two Souls? I keep wanting to say Beyond Good and Evil.
I don't know much about it, to be honest. I know it's like supposed to be like heavy narrative, story-based game.
Yeah, in fact, it's made by the same guys who are making Detroit Become Human, which the demo's out right now. You should play it. I played it. It's really fucking cool. Definitely suggest everybody download that demo and try it out. There's like 4 or 5 different endings to the one demo. It shows you this whole crazy fucking thing and tells you like how many different ways you could have went through that scenario, but doesn't tell you exactly what would have happened. It's pretty cool. It says in Taste Cast, so let's not talk about that all day. Do you have any thoughts on the games coming out next month?
Other than this is the second month this year already. Is it the third?
Last month, this month, and next month are all like fucking good.
Yeah, they're doing a good job on the Plus games this year so far, so pretty excited.
We got the one shit month, and then all of a sudden they're making up with Bloodborne, Ratchet and Clank. This month we had Mad Max, and fucking Trackmania. Next month we got some more AAA games and Rayman. So it's fucking crazy. Like when I saw that on Twitter, I was like, damn, you guys are killing it right now. Keep that up.
Oh yeah.
Don't give me fucking Life is Strange. That game's fucking strange.
Next month is going to be Life is Strange and fucking
the new one.
Yeah, and then oh fuck, what's that shooter we hated?
Drawn to Death?
Yeah.
Paper Wars.
Drawn to Death 2. That'll be June.
I'm just gonna fucking rank that month an F- and get the fuck out. You guys enjoy. I'll watch from a safe distance of 100 feet where I can bitch but not have to be near it.
In mill playing, you just hear in the background, it sucks.
Just with binoculars. Fuck you. I'll do it too. Yeah. So anyway, this month we played Mad Max Trackmania Turbo. I think it is probably a good bet to jump into Trackmania Turbo first. If you didn't get a chance to play this, it is a very straightforward arcadey racer game that boasts map editing, crazy tracks with loop-de-loops, kind of like old Hot Wheels, kind of like fucking tracks, and just a wealth of like crazy tracks to do. You can play these things in like 30 seconds to a minute and move into the next track, and it's just a crazy good time. Apparently, 2 things I wanted to do with this game that I didn't get to is I guess there's 100-person races in it.
Whew. And
there is a 2-player mode where both people control one car. I wanted to try that as well. Never got a chance to. I'm keeping it installed because I have racing. I like racing games, so I'm keeping it on there. I guess that's kind of a hint on what I thought of it. But let's jump into it. Who wants to start with general impressions?
Sure. So,
sure, I'll do it.
General impressions. I mean, you kind of said a lot of it in describing the game. It's kind of like a Hot Wheels, type game where you're playing these, ridiculous courses. Just kind of transparency's sake, I only played the single player mode in the game, so I can only speak for it. If you've ever played games like Trials or oh shoot, can't think of another one right now.
He meant shit. We cuss on this channel. I do. I cuss on this channel.
Anyways, yeah. So you essentially you have your track time limit to get bronze, silver, gold. You get enough of those, you unlock more tracks.
It's really interesting how you unlock tracks by a certain stipulation of you need like the next section of tracks is like you need like 10 bronze.
Yeah.
And then there'll be other ones that are like you need 10 gold. And even if you pass through this one, no matter what, if you pass every single one, you're going to get the 10 bronze. You're going to get a new area. But if you do really well, you're going to unlock multiple different areas to go. So,
which I think is kind of a neat system. I am a big fan of Trials. I bought Trials Fusion. I played the crap out of it.
Love Trials.
So I think this game's neat, but I do think you need to be in the right mindset to play this game. It's not something I could just sit down and play anytime, personally. But otherwise, I think it's a well-made game. If I'm not mistaken, this is also the same game series where a lot of people make to just hold the gas pedal down tracks or whatever.
I don't know.
Pretty sure.
I don't know what that is.
There was.
I wanted to sound insightful, like I knew what I was talking about.
Sure
but I don't like bullshitting.
I'm pretty sure it's the series where like people will make courses where you're not supposed to do anything other than hold the gas, and then you do all these crazy stunts and whatnot because that's the way they designed the course.
Oh yeah. On PC, there's a lot of when the games were first like getting big or whatever. On there was all these crazy ones where people were just flying across the track, just like it's ridiculous. It's all like they were essentially creating like a physics course.
Yeah.
That like as long as you just held it and go like went, you're gonna fucking fly through it and pinpoint accurate.
Right. So I mean, there's a lot there to offer in that regard. You can actually make challenging courses, or you can just do stuff like that, which are just visually appealing. So, but that is my general opinion of the game.
Yeah, Chris.
I went into this game with the mindset of like a racing game, multiple laps, multiple cars, and it was not that. At least the single player that I only played. I did play about like 20 courses, but like you said, they're like maybe 30 minutes at most.
30 minutes?
Or 30 seconds.
You made a big ass track. I don't know where I am. I'm lost.
And I found it very unexhilarating, personally. Just the fact that they were one and done kind of deals, it just wasn't what I was expecting. And then even then, like, there are customizations to the game, but they're very limited. And the way they're applied to your cars, I say cars because there's different cars for different tracks, even though it doesn't seem like it makes any difference.
Oh, no. There's 4 cars. One of them is fucking bullshit. It slides everywhere. It's the off-road one for the desert tracks. That thing fucking sucks. I hate it.
Well, I never got the option to choose a car. It was always just auto-chosen.
Yep.
But, the customizations for it were limited, and you had to earn medals, which is a fine system to earn medals to get customizations, but I didn't feel any need to because they weren't very amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the medal system, personally, it felt like unless you were perfect on your timing, on the brakes, and the acceleration at the right times, the right angles, like perfect pinpoint accuracy, you weren't getting gold. There's no recovering from it.
That's how Trials is, though.
Yeah. And see, that's a to each their own thing, because I'm actually the asshole who's like, I gotta shave that fucking 0.1 second off, and I'll do that in the game like this. I agree with a lot of what you said, though, and a lot of what you said, I think, is a very, like most things, but it's a very subjective thing. Everything you said is stuff that doesn't really pertain to something you're finding like super exciting, but it definitely is something that there are people who are going to be really into it. Like the game's called Track Mania, so I mean, like, it's all about the tracks. And I also saw the cars. Like, there's only like 4 cars in the game. There's not that much customization. It's kind of cool they even put it in there at all. But if you're going to the game like about the cars and about customizing cars and stuff like that, having fun with that, this is not for you. And I'm not trying to get into recommendations already, but like it's the game's very specific in what it's for. I mean, like, it is kind of like Trials in the sense that you are playing all these different random tracks and trying to get through them with the best times, and the crazy jumps and loop-de-loops that are accessible in the game that can happen is the fun aspect of it. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit in that regard. But outside of that, it is a very straightforward old school arcade racer that I think looks pretty good graphically. I was actually surprised. It looked pretty decent for how basic looking it is. But yeah, I am that guy who likes to try and, even when I'm playing Gran Turismo, I'm like, I can do better on that fucking corner. I can, like, every time I'm going around the lap, I'm like, I can, adjust my braking. That's a lot more technical. But like in this, I'm still trying to like shave it down. But I do agree with something you said also is like it's fun, but it's like it's not like something I'm going to come running to. When I was playing it, I could keep playing it. But it was more like a passive thing. I put on like a podcast, I'd be listening to that and just kind of mindlessly just like trying to get that best fucking time. But I never thought about this game other than like my obligation for the channel to play it. And it's not because the game's bad. It's just like there's so many other games that I'd rather play. Because this game is just like a fun arcade game. I think the bread and butter of this game, though, is if you get really into the tracks and editing tracks, the community aspects of it. And I did actually edit a track. Hopefully I remember in editing to put the editing aspect in the video up here. If I didn't, I apologize. But the editor is really interesting because it's very simplistic, but you can do quite a bit with it. But it's also idiot proof. So you can like have no idea how to make a fucking track or map or anything in a game. You can just hit the X button and it'll just fucking suggest pieces as you go and just build a fucking track for you pretty much. It was interesting. So I mean, like every piece is like a square and you can rotate it in one of 4 angles, and then you go to the next piece and you get to pick a bunch of pieces that will work there. And if the piece will not work in that terrain or that area, it won't let you pick it. So it literally is just like, here's your options. What do you want to put here? And then you can like raise and lower and put loop-de-loops, shit like that. So it's a pretty cool system. I only did it because I wanted to be able to talk about it for the episode. But if you're really into like those dudes that were like making like the crazy fucking tracks where you're watching the car just do backflips in the sky and fucking like just land and then spin and do loop-de-loops and fly another shit. I mean, like it's your fucking dream because you can do it. This game also has a VR mode that I was too lazy to fucking hook up my PSVR for. This game would be neat in VR though, I think, just because you are flying around a lot in later tracks.
Side note to that real quick, a game I want to see in VR is that Wipeout has VR support, so
that'd be cool too.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. But yeah, I mean, like you guys pretty much covered most of kind of how I feel on it. Just my opinion of that is different, right? So like what wasn't exciting for you guys is kind of like what I was pretty into. But I mean, that is what it is. It's a very basic, straightforward game. You just got to be into, not even just into racers, but like that specific kind of thing. But I think it's cool because there's not a whole lot of games like this. Trackmania is seeing a lot of success and a lot of like iterations and expansions or DLCs on PC, on Steam. Been watching for a long time. Always kind of want to dabble in a little bit. Having the ability to access it on PS4 was probably the best way for me to try it because I'm already going to have the controller anyway. I'd prefer to play the game with the controller. Obviously, you could plug controller into PC, but it's just already ready to go on PS4. And overall, I liked it. But yeah, I still want to try out that 2-player racing thing just because I feel like it's going to be really frustrating and it'd be good for laughs, but I don't know if it'd be that fun. And yeah, I liked it. Anything else you guys want to say on that? There's not really a whole lot to say about the game, honestly.
I mean, it's a very straightforward game. I mean, like,
yeah.
It's not like we're talking about like The Witcher or like we could all have our own stories and blah, 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 type of thing. Like you literally are just doing these courses.
I raced the track and I got silver. What'd you get? Well, I also got silver. What'd you get? Fuck it. I got bronze. I didn't care. Oh, wow. Wow.
This little track had a loop-de-loop.
I liked going upside down. I liked going downside up. Wow. The differences in stories. Let's recommend it.
Okay. I recommend this to, first off, all ages. I think it's a good game that you could have kids play. They'd probably have a blast with it. It's quirky and zany enough. They might get a little frustrated difficulty-wise getting the golds, but, I mean, as far as just, like, playing the game, especially like custom tracks and stuff like that, I think anyone could enjoy that. I honestly think the only people who wouldn't be interested in this game at all are people who have very specific things they play, because I honestly think that most people can play this game. So.
Yeah, anybody could sit down, hit fucking square, drive forward, and go to the next track, get a bronze if they want, or go, God damn it, I want that gold. And then, like, you know, it matters who you are. But I mean, yeah, anyone could literally just hand the controller to them.
I mean, it's kind of like you said it earlier. It's kind of, you know, like the old school arcade games. It's like having an arcade game in your home. So that's why I think most people could probably play this. You might not get invested in it, but I'm sure you could find some enjoyment in it. So
yeah. Chris, anything you want to add to that?
It's definitely not. If you're looking for like a racing, like classic racing game, it's not what you're looking for. If you're looking for more like trials, like you're saying, trials, the quick one-off courses to beat the best records, then this is it. Kids, yeah, will love it. I'm sure they will. They'll get frustrated with the golds, but I don't think most kids will really care about it. But it's hard to say specifically who this game is for because everybody can play it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it has a heavy emphasis on community and building tracks. It's one of those games where like the community is going to create the longevity of the game, and they have, as it's already been seen on Steam for years now. But this is PS4, of course. So yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with what you guys said, but also I feel like anybody who kind of misses those crazy, wacky fucking arcade racers from the 64 era, like Rush and Rush 2049, what the fuck is called? San Francisco, all that shit. Even though those were lap racers, and this does have some laps, you can make your own lap to race if you want. You're still getting that aspect of like jumps and like all that kind of crazy shit that you don't really get in a lot of racers nowadays that are mostly just like, you know, slightly sim/arcade racers or sim racers. They're all trying to be like, you know, the best looking graphics and the best physics and all that shit. You know, this game doesn't take itself serious in any way. So, I mean, definitely check that out. But I agree with you in that aspect of like, I think anybody could just play this game. So it's really easy to just kind of recommend it to everybody, but know what you're getting into. You're not going to get a lot of like cars and customization. You're there for the tracks, crazy tracks, making crazy tracks, and just having a fucking fun time doing wacky shit and trying to get the best time.
It's easily a game you can play for like 5-10 minutes too. I mean, you don't even have to spend a lot of time. You like, you know, got ready for work earlier than normal and you want to sit down and like play a couple tracks, you can.
Yeah, you got like 2 minutes and you get like fucking 20 tracks out of the way, just knock them out real fucking fast.
Pretty much. So
yeah, I think that's pretty good. Let's grade it. Chris.
I'm gonna give it a C+ or a B-, somewhere in between there.
Ooh, you gotta pick one. Really... Gotta pick one, buddy.
C+.
Okay.
It's playable, it's competent, but it's just not what I was expecting, and I can't find myself going back to it or having a strong urge to play it over and over and over again.
Fair. I'm also gonna give it a C+. And not for the, like, it's funny because me and you agree, but we're on different spectrums of what we liked about it. We're still also giving the same grade because I've been thinking the whole time C+, and I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just like the factors of it I do like a lot, but there's so many factors there that I'm not utilizing, so it's not for me. It's very fun. I'll play it. I enjoy it, but like I'm not going to get really deep into the track editing. I'm not going to race people online. I don't really like racing people online, or even in fighting games. I don't like fighting people online. I like doing it in the same house. So yeah, my experience with it was fun, but at its core, you know, you play, you do a couple tracks, and then you're done with it, and then because I'm not thinking about it later, I can't rate it too high. I can't grade it too high because for my own personal taste, just because it's not something I'm really, you know, wanting to play all too much. But I have to give it credit. I have to give it a passing grade. I think C+. I want to give it like a B-, B, but I keep giving a lot of games Bs, and I need to kind of get out of that because B is pretty good. So yeah, it's a good game, just not necessarily something that I'm going to be playing a whole lot. Although I'm keeping it installed, so that's a huge compliment to it because most of the games I fucking after I'm done, I'm like, get out of here. So yeah, C+, strong, hard, C+.
Well, I guess that makes 3. I also am going C+. It's not a bad game. It is a completely competent game. It just doesn't have longevity for most players. It's going to be a very small niche crowd of people who are going to just like really be obsessed and want to do everything in this game. As for most people, we're probably going to play it for a couple, you know, hours, maybe a couple days, and then they're probably going to move to something else. So, but it is a good game, and I don't think it deserves any like negative comments or anything like that. So
No.
C+.
Yeah, I don't think any of us really said anything negative about it at all. In fact, like I said, I liked it a lot. I just, you got to be like that dude who's like, oh, I want to make this crazy fucking track. Then the game is for you. In that instance, you probably give it a fucking A, because what other games letting you do that? So, but yeah, another fucking 3-way C+. Let us know in the comments. What do you think about Track Mania Turbo? Have you played it? Have you played the prior iterations of it? Are you a fan of these types of games? Are you not a fan of these types of games? Do you not give a shit about it? Let me know. Second game we played this month was Mad Max. If you did not have a chance to play that, you probably have heard of the series Mad Max. So it's pretty much based off that. You're in a wasteland. It's a third-person action sandbox game with a strong emphasis on car combat. You play as Max, and you hang out with the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And Dom, however you want to say that, yeah, Chumley, and you drive into things. Let's jump into it. Who went first last time? You did.
I did.
Chris, you go.
Well, I played a good chunk of this game. I would say a good chunk because there's a lot more content. It seems like when just looking at the map, it's massive.
Mm-hmm.
And I barely scratched the surface of it.
Same guys made Just Cause, and Just Cause 2 and 3's maps are fucking gigantic.
They're huge. Yeah. It is. I like Mad Max, like the movies. I haven't seen the newest one, so I don't know where this falls chronologically to anything.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
It's one of the best action movies in the last like fucking 10 years ever.
So I've heard. But I don't know where this fits into the storyline at all.
It's its own thing.
It's a chum bucket.
It is a chum bucket.
But it is just like you said, a sandbox game. I found myself kind of just not necessarily shotgunning missions. I tend to do a lot of side missions first.
I used to do that. I can't do it anymore.
I have to. I gotta make sure I get everything out of the map so I don't have to fucking come back later.
I know the feeling, man. It's like that feeling I used to get in my lungs when I want a cigarette. I was like, I just want a cigarette really bad, and I'd smoke and be like, oh yeah. Same thing with side quests. I'm like, oh, I just got to do all these, and now I'm like, no, just do the storyline.
I do like the eccentricism of John Bucket as a character. Max, I can't really find myself worrying about too much as far as story goes. He just kind of is there, but then that's kind of always been his character. He's just kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
But gameplay wise, I feel like it's almost 90% driving from A to B with a few combat experiences here and there.
I found a lot of combat experiences every 5 seconds.
I mean, like I said, I barely scratched the surface of the game. I played maybe 4 or 5 hours of it.
Hot damn.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it the whole time, though. The whole time I enjoyed it. I really liked making my own magnum opus. That was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I do like customizing cars. So.
Yeah, it's funny how that game has more customization than the racing game. It's more of a car game than the other game. I keep calling it the other game. I can't remember what the fuck it's called anymore. Track Mania.
That other one.
That other fucking thing we talked about a long time ago. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's fun. I still have it installed.
Yeah. That's
anything. I played Track Mania Turbo for 20 courses, and I uninstalled it.
Damn.
Okay, bye.
Bye. That's that C+. Bye. Yeah. Anything else you want to add to that? Nothing? Yeah, I this was kind of not necessarily hard for me, but and I've talked about this before, but I bought this when it came out because it was like $14, $15, like the first week it came out. Josh just like tell me about it like while we're filming. You can probably find that old episode, and fucking Josh is like, oh, it's on sale for like $15. I was like, where? And like literally the video cuts there because I went and fucking bought it because I was like, the game just came out. I wasn't even gonna buy it. And then I heard it was $15. I'm like, how could I not? That game literally just came out. And I bought it, and I played on PC quite a bit. I actually have a small series I was going to continue, but didn't, of the Chum Bucket fucking saga that I did a long time ago. So check that out. So I played it quite a bit on PC. So coming back to it, I was more so kind of checking out how it plays on PS4, which I did. I put a couple hours into it as well. I had a save file for some reason. I've never played it on PS4. It was right past the point where Chum Bucket's fucking boat gets attacked. And the Marauders are outside of it. I just started there, so it's like, okay, I guess I don't have to do a tutorial, which kind of sucked because I've never played it on PS4, so I didn't know the fucking buttons for a while. Oh, yeah. So if you're watching the video up here, if I look like I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what I'm doing. So that's why.
It's because I don't.
There's a lot of instances where I like get a shotgun shell. Maybe you'll see in the video, but I get a shotgun shell, and I know they're rare at first, and I fucking load in my gun, and I turn, I go, and I shot it off, and I was like, God damn it. I didn't know what button it was.
I did that during the tutorial. It's like, use this for the shotgun. I was like, all right. And I was like, oh, I got 2 shots.
Yeah.
I got to play the tutorial, and I still do that in game. I'll be wandering around, just there's nothing around me. Just
is it
wasted?
Circle.
Is it? Okay, it's circle.
Yeah.
Because I swear I hit R3 and he shot it off. I clicked in the stick and went boom. I was like, thanks. Like I fucking wanted that for later. No, this game's all around good though. I liked my experience with it the original time I played it. I liked it this time. It's actually kind of nice playing with a controller because I played with mouse and keyboard. One thing that was definitely positive about the mouse and keyboard though is when you're doing the car combat, the cars actually control really well on keyboard, which is nice. The game's kind of floaty, but controlling, like it's not realistic in the way the car controls. I mean, you can like ram left and right, which I love. They did a really good job on the car combat. That's the game's shining point, is the way cars feel and the way the car combat feels. The rest of the game is pretty like okay, but being able to aim the grappling hook with the mouse was really nice because I could get like just shoot them and then I'd like turn the camera and launch them and just watch them fly off like a fucking cannonball. But in this, it felt nice, like specifically the Batman. It has a combat system like Batman does, where you're hitting one button to attack people, and then you'll hit triangle and someone goes to attack, counter them. Which I like that system, but this game came out kind of late in where that system is kind of getting monotonous. It was in like all games. Fucking Assassin's Creed, Batman, a bunch of games had it already. So it's kind of like one of the last games of that era. And I kind of felt that fatigue now. When I first played, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I like these systems and games. And now I played, I'm like, man, I remember these. Like, I'm not really into this anymore too much. But yeah, it looks good on PS4, plays well on PS4. Car combat, like I said, a shining example of or not example, but it's like the best thing in the game, I think. The animations are better than I remember too. I was watching Chum Bucket crawl over the fucking car while I was driving, and I was actually impressed with the animations on how they did that. But yeah, some of the things that I kind of sets me back with a game like this though is it is a sandbox. It is go over there and there's some items you can get there. Go to this fortress and take it over and go kill that convoy and
run over that totem. And
like you'll never get bored playing the game, but you also will never get anything done. So I ran into that constantly playing it. This time I actually did it on purpose. The first time I played it, I was trying to do everything. And this I was like, I'm just playing the game, so I'm just going to go fuck around. But that is something that we've talked about many times now, and maybe it just comes with like age or something, but it is getting harder and harder for me to do every little fucking thing in a sandbox game, especially nowadays with them having so many things to do in them now. But yeah, I really enjoy the gameplay, which is, I guess, the most important thing in a fucking game you could possibly want is good gameplay. And the game plays really well. The buttons are fucking weird, though.
Super unorthodox.
Very weird controls. And I respect anybody for fucking trying to go outside the box. Because all games, circles, crouch, hold circle, you'll lay down, fucking L2's fucking aim, R2 shoot, all the buttons are always the same. R1 is grenade. Triangle switch weapons. This game is like, fuck you. You're going to press this to do that. You're going to accidentally shoot your shotgun off because we choose to put it here. Run. Yeah. And L2 is fucking jump. Yeah. And the jump should not even exist. There's no point for it.
Never use it.
You can barely jump over a fucking rock on the ground. God, yeah, I was like jumping. I was like, what the fuck's the point of this? And anything you need to get up, you can just press X to climb anyway. There's another thing I was gonna say though. One thing I really appreciate about it, and it breaks the immersion, but a game like this I'm not trying to get immersed in, is I like that when you go to an area and there's stuff to collect in that like building, when you get them all, it tells you you're done. It's like 100% collected. You got everything. So then I can go, thank you, sandbox. Now I'm going to go on with the rest of my fucking life and not sit here the rest of the day. Just like, did I get everything? Is there some one little fucking penny that I missed? Because I'll drive through fucking somebody, and then I slam on the brakes, and I come running back. The car's still tumbling, and just people are flying out of the car dead and shit. I'm like grabbing shit off the ground behind the car as it rolls, because I'm just like, give me that. I need this. Okay, and then it's still rolling. I'm getting back in my car, driving off. Old Chumbuck's fucking just fucking fixing the car. I'm the Black Hands. But yeah, the games. Did you guys run into the storms? That was kind of like one of the big selling points of the game. I think that's kind of an interesting system too, because it kind of feels the Mad Max world in all of its lore, all the movies, whatever, is all about like chaos. It's desperate people in a chaotic world, and chaos rules the world, and the game feels like that. It definitely feels like Mad Max. I think it's great we got a Mad Max game, and this game really does it well.
That wasn't based off the movie.
Yeah. It's like they did an awesome job. I love the guys who make Just Cause. They have a great sense of just like fun factor. They make fun fucking games with cool mechanics. I also think the world's really interesting too, because it's real easy to make a desert boring, because why would a desert not be boring? It's a dead area. So anytime someone can make that interesting, like DICE with Battlefield 1 and a couple other games, I'm impressed. I'm like, oh, you made a desert interesting. They made it interesting because I'm pretty sure you're in where an ocean used to exist.
Yeah.
Because you're in like a coral reef area. You can see all the dead coral, and like there's boats everywhere and shit, which I think is really, really cool. It's really interesting. So I'm driving around, I'm thinking about like what the world was like before. Obviously I live there now, but like just getting to experience that in a game or in anything really is really kind of cool. So I love the design. It's cool. I like the game. Chevy.
I don't think there's a whole lot more I can add to that. So I just like bullet points for me. I completely agree. The controls threw me off and continued to throw me off the whole time. I'm not sure if I like them or not. I'm still kind of confused on that aspect. But
it's not even like a Dark Souls Bloodborne thing where it's like, oh, once you're used to it, this is how the game has to be. It's just like it doesn't have to be this way. Why'd you do this?
It's such a weird decision. Yeah. I do think that it's definitely a car game more than it is a Mad Max game. But it's not a bad thing, because it is different for a sandbox game in that regard, and the car combat, even though completely unrealistic, is fun to do. And I appreciate that. The
physics feel great too. Yeah. When you ram into a car, you watch it like fucking get like knocked back, and its suspension is like fucking like the car's moving, and like it lights on fire and smoke comes out of it. And when they blow up, it's going in slow-mo, so it feels good. Plus, like there's so many sandbox games, third-person sandbox games since Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, that are all like, get a gun, fucking shoot people. And this game has a shotgun, but you accidentally shoot the fucking thing anyway, because the controls are weird. And like most time,
punching people or ramming them with the car. So.
Punching people or doing crazy shit with the car. I mean, using a sniper rifle on the back of the car. I mean, like it's different, which is weird, because most of these games aren't.
I also appreciate that. They could have very easily been like, you're getting Max's car and you're upgrading it, and in this they're like, here's multiple options for you to choose for your body, and you can choose your upgrades, and everything makes the car look different. And if you do these certain side missions, you get different hood ornaments to put on your car. So I mean, they put a lot of thought into that aspect of it. I wish they would have put in half of that detail though into like
the jump.
Because when you're not in the car, the game becomes almost a little boring, which is kind of sad.
You're just this little pissed off rough and tumble fucking, oi, fucking start punching people, and they punch you back, and then that's it.
Yeah. And I also like, I can't remember the dude's name, but you go find him every once in a while when you have enough points, and you can actually like level up aspects of Max as well.
Man.
Yeah, it's got a lot of really good stuff in there. There's just something about it that feels incomplete.
I was gonna say that too. It does feel unfinished. It feels finished, but it feels empty in certain aspects.
Missing.
And the reason for that is this game was actually made around the time Mad Max was coming out, the movie, and which was smart of them to do. But they were already in development of Just Cause 3 when they worked on this. So I think it was kind of like their B-side, their like fucking like on the side game that they're working on. And for that, I think they did an amazing job. Because, like I said, especially on PC, graphically, it looks great. The animations are great. The game plays awesome. They did a great job with the car combat. But every once in a while, I was playing the game, and I was like, especially outside of the car, I was like, you know, if it wasn't for the car combat, this would be a pretty low-end sandbox third-person action game. And I understand it because, like, I know Just Cause 3 came out, and Just Cause 3 is fucking awesome. So, obviously, that's where all the main work went. But I agree with you, and I think most people kind of would have to, because I think the proof's in the pudding there when it comes to that, because they were working on 2 games at once.
Yeah.
And their flagship game was gonna get the pedigree treatment.
For sure.
Especially after the success of Just Cause 2, people fucking loved that game.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
All this talk of car combat in dystopian world just makes me think of Twisted Metal. It's like sandbox Twisted Metal.
Kind of. I mean, the game, you're like shooting at people with a shotgun. I accidentally shot my shotgun off while driving. I actually hit the dude, though, so it was weird. I was like just driving, and my guy was like, I was like, what the fuck? And like I stopped my car, I look over, and there's a car sitting still. I'm like, who's that? I was like, did they just park their car and leave? Like the gunshot scared them. I ran over there, and there's just a dead guy on the seat. I was like, out of all the places I could have shot, and maybe he's locked on, I don't know. I was just driving this way, and he goes, boom.
It's pretty gracious with auto aim.
Yeah, it just boom, and fucking, I look over, and there's like fucking dude dead in his car. I was like, and then I get back to my car and tell Chumbuck, get in the back fucking seat. We're about to ram this thing. I need the parts. They need a way to streamline it where you don't have to get back to your car to break it. Like maybe if you already dismantle it or kill them, you can like pull out a wrench and go and get like the pieces you'd get off it anyway.
Yeah, and there's definitely a couple different areas in the game too where they could
dynamite
streamline the experience, which might have been part of my feeling of it not feeling like a finished product as well. Because like some aspects of this game, you know, worked really well, and other times I was just kind of like, I don't know why I'm doing this. So
yeah, it definitely doesn't feel streamlined. Although I do like that it takes a couple risks in the sense of like having fuel in the game. I like games that have that. I like the idea of having to manage gas.
I never felt like I would run out of gas, though. It never felt like a pressing issue for me, ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember it happening on PC either, but there's a couple things that you have to activate with gas, and like to have to carry the cans, stuff like that, and then you can grab them, throw them, blow them up and shit too. But I'd like to believe that maybe you might need that gas.
Maybe you should run from the top of the map to the bottom of the map in one go.
Yeah, maybe. Take a pit stop and fucking refill. Otherwise, yeah, every once in a while I just refill because I'm like, fuck it. It's not making me do it anyway, so I might as well just do it. Might as well just top it off. Yeah, so let's recommend it.
I would recommend this to anyone who's into sandbox games. So if you're into Grand Theft Auto, Just Cause, Saints Row, those type of games, and you enjoy the gameplay aspect of those games, you're going to be right at home in that regard. Yeah. If you like those games but you want something a little different, is also, you know, a really good point there, because you are spending a lot of time in your car and not just driving around. That's like the main mechanic of combat and everything. It has great upgrade systems. Your both character and car. You know, as far as my only other recommendation I could think of, if you're a big fan of Mad Max, this is definitely a Mad Max world. It feels right at home. They did a really good job with it, and like you said earlier, even with the sandstorms and whatnot, you know, you're in the world. It's really cool. They did a good job in that regard, and I was a little worried with the movie coming out and this game coming out, that their portrayal of Max and the way he talks and stuff like that would feel weird, and it actually feels really good. So
it takes more after the original Mad Max movies because he's very Australian sounding in the game. Yeah, I was gonna definitely try and make that point. If you like Mad Max, if you're a fan of the series or whatever, I mean, it's no brainer. You have to get this. It's the best representation of Mad Max in a video game. If there ever has been other Mad Max games, I don't know. But this is it. You're gonna like it. Also, if you ever back in the day played those Destruction Derby games, they used to make them for like PlayStation and 64, where you just drive into each other and there's like 20 cars. You're gonna like this game. It's literally that in Mad Max. Like you just ramming into other fucking cars, and you get perks and upgrades to make that more interesting. Like I said, there's a fucking grappling hook. You can shoot into somebody's windshield, and grab the dude, and fucking rip him out of the car. Just launch him and watch him skid across the dirt, like skipping a stone across water. It's very gratifying. Yeah, and if you like car combat games, Twisted Metal, you're probably gonna like it. If you like driving cars and killing shit, you're gonna like this game. You already said the third person like open world type game. If you like stories, especially if you're into Mad Max, you already said that too. But if you like stories, the game actually does a pretty good job of telling a story. I was actually surprised considering I played Just Cause 2, Just Cause 3, and even though they do tell stories, they're very ridiculous and dorky. This actually tells a pretty coherent story that is done well. It's ridiculous and crazy and chaotic because it's Mad Max, but like the cinematics are actually like acted out and mocapped and look good.
Need a fucking translator for Chum Bucket though.
Why? Because he's got the black hand.
Everything's a car reference out of his mouth, man.
Yeah, he gets really creepy with that car too. He says a lot of weird shit. I'm just like, not my car, buddy. Go find somebody else's. We're fucking literally killing people every 5 fucking feet. Take their car, do whatever the hell you're trying to do with it. Not mine. Yeah, I mean, if you like Hunchbacks, it's a good game for it. I can't think of a lot of games that have that.
What the fuck?
Australia, if you're a fan of that, you might dig it.
I think you're reaching.
Yeah, I don't know. Chris, add some things. Add some very specific types of people that might that.
If you're into exploring the world in a dystopian future, this would be a good game for you. The story is really good, and if you're into being part of a compelling story that has a lot of interesting psychological points to it, this might be a good game for you, because it's fun to be Max as yourself when you're looking at this world and able to kind of analyze the characters and try to figure out where they're coming from and what they're going to want from you. But I think, other than that, I think you guys hit it on the head.
Pretty much nailed it, especially the Hunchback thing.
Oh, I love Bucket.
Who I don't.
I
kind of wish he'd fall off my car.
I got my own. You didn't see the new Mad Max, but I have my own, not fan theory, but Seth theory of Chum Bucket is actually Immortan Joe, and you're actually helping him become the leader in the new Mad Max movie, and then you have to take him out. They look a lot alike. They're both pasty.
That's the Chrome people, right?
Immortan Joe is the boss of those guys. Yeah.
White hair, wears a weird mask.
Yeah.
Has the ladies all milking.
Goes fucking splendid, mediocre.
I know who he is.
Yeah, that's Chum Bucket. After he gets up in the world, Mark Echo's getting up. Yeah. We can grade it.
No, we didn't.
All right. I'm giving it a very, very confident, strong B-. Going B- because it is a good game. I like it quite a bit. But I feel like you kind of reach the full potential of it if you're not worried about the story. Not very far into the game. You kind of get the gist. You know what you're going to get out of it. Even though there are upgrades that'll make the game more complicated, whatever, you're still going to get that car combat game throughout the whole thing. And I don't really see my enjoyment of the game growing and growing and growing. So it's a really fun game, but it's a sandbox game at its heart, and that's only so fun for so long for me. So B-. Really fun game. If you're looking for Chum Bucket.
I'm also going B minus. I wanted to go higher, but like I've said a couple times now, it feels like something in the game is missing, and it just
Chum Bucket Jr.
It's difficult for me to want to keep playing it. I have a hard time with sandbox games. I've said that a million times on the channel at this point. Though I do think this is one of the better ones I've played. I actually like this one better than I like Just Cause. That's probably blasphemy for a lot of people, but Just Cause is really difficult for me to play. So
I only like Just Cause more because you can do more in it.
And I get that.
That's a wacky ass fucking game.
But I felt like I could actually like play this game and like get through the story missions, and I felt like it was trying to guide me. This one feels like a
more serious game, with a fucking
it very
trajectory.
Was guiding me. It's like, hey, you need to go here next. And I was like, thank you.
You can go visit Jaffa, where the fuck his name is.
First, a lot of games were like, you should go over here, but here's 20 other things for you to do. This game has that, but they're all the same things constantly, and so like I don't feel like I need to be doing them.
Just Cause just gives you a bunch of shit for destroying everything on the fucking planet, and you're like, what am I gonna need this for? It's like, just take it. And then they're like, they push you out the door, and then you're like, okay, what do I do? And they're like, there is a mission over that way, but look at all this stuff. Do I have to do anything? You can do whatever you want.
You know what? Why Mad Max's world exists?
Huh.
What's the dude's name? Just Cause? Rico?
Yeah, I think so.
Rico? Yeah, I think Rico.
Whatever. The main character from Just Cause turns into a fucking tornado of fucking doom, destroys the entire planet, and Mad Max happens.
They're connected, yeah. Just Cause is the prequel.
Anyways, B minus, solid game. It seems to be missing some stuff. I couldn't tell you what that is. It just feels that way.
Development time.
Maybe. But I don't think there's anything bad about the game. Yeah. There's just things that could be better.
Yeah. More Chum Bucket. There needs to be Mega Bucket. A giant Chum Bucket you ride.
Mega Bucket?
Mega Bucket.
Was it going to be like fucking EX Plus Alpha next?
And Junior Bucket. Junior Bucket XL's the medium-sized Junior Bucket.
They're not a McDonald's drink, right?
And Chum Bucket crawls around on Mega Bucket and repairs him. I want that game. I want that game so bad. They need to add that mod into Just Cause 3. Chris.
Just to break away from the group consensus, I'm going to give it a weak B. It is a fun game, but there are elements that seems like it's missing. Physical combat seems very weak. Kind of an afterthought in the game. And it is very heavily focused on cars, but what it does focus on, it does really well. The other reason I give it a weak B is there's no Tina Turner and Chain No Bikini. And until you add that to the game, it's going to stay a weak B.
This is coming from you.
And there's no little wicked long-haired little baby boomerang kid. And the guy who's like, just walk away and we will spare your life. Just walk away. And then that baby throws his boomerang and fucking takes the dude's head off. That's Mad Max. That's Junior Bucket.
Man, I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
Mad Max. Anybody seen Mad Max? You know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I will say I've only seen the
He talked about Tina Turner. It's the same movie.
I haven't seen the old ones.
Well, that's not my fault. So B minus, and B. I think it's fair. Also, sadly, a big part of, well, that's the unfinished nature of the game, or at least what I noticed is like even like the like menu in the beginning where you press start looks like they just kind of took a snapshot of in the game real quick. Like they just like hit like fucking like picture capture and then fucking put like press start on that blinking. You hit that and there's like a basic like they got a couple PNGs of like continue and they didn't take a whole lot of time to get that shit done. They made the game like it's good enough. Like, well, we need a fucking menu, and they're like,
it's like burning your own movie, and you got that really crappy DVD menu.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it felt like. It's like someone gave me like a fucking cracked copy of the game or something, like an early alpha version of it, and they just never fucking.
I mean, it was free.
Yeah, it was $15, dog. 2 copies for $15. Imagine my surprise. Let us know in the comments. What do you think about Mad Max? What do you think about Tina Turner? What do you think about Mega Bucket, Junior Bucket XL, Chum Bucket, Express, Cross, Street Fighter, Tekken, Extreme? And did you play Mad Max? Do you want to play it? Is there other Mad Max video games? Let me know in the comments, because I'm too I almost said too busy. I'm not busy at all. Too lazy to Google it. And and that's going to do it for this episode of Plus Club for April. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check out me and Chris's streams on Twitch at Tasty Senpai, all one word for me, and Tasty_fruit for Chris. Make sure to hit the notification button to know when we go live. And I'm tired. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
I'm Chris.
Until the next episode, the next Mega Bucket, which is tomorrow. Play Persona 5. But until then, have a good night, guys, and take it easy. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider hitting the like button. We'd really appreciate it. And if you want more weekly content, hit the subscribe button. You can always find us on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter at Tasty Loot Gaming. And as always, thanks for watching.